라마당 벨레 뒤기 콜로 이수메베 샤블라 차첼로 다리 면종께도 두겐 최결 첨보 벨레 미원징메 개설은 남게 왕추 조기 갈롭람 뛴신 담링 시디 꾸림 루벤나레 다 차시직 다다 두코르기 왕kur nerimpa imbe te dillo thomar gwebe wangi jindagi chewal chamte te dumdaji dongha pelge da chuge demi thole ishuachen te pesa shimi da pege hagomi solo te pentobi gi gweba yu te yang wangchu gyujinge gebo rimjin chidang keparata te chugile yapsen dampa ni di da yun jagari yuldo sangi shel jube kablo bawa jen gelbo zukjin yingpo la sopa tongker chenpo chugi chugil chenpo namdang sangi nyangin le debe jesu chugil nyangin met serweda chugil ashoka tabu tang tele pyo kangjin jonglo chugil mewen namsum tabu thakpardo sanga doji tekpe temballo kadin chesulle sambajen nupchoge gelbo indarbo di shambalayi chugil dawazangbo gangjongge chugil tisong devchen tabu imbe jumchen yang gelbo indarbo dillo tendegi tele pele sangwa dupi chuge kolo sungdo shambalayi chugil dawazangbollo tende gele dukurgi jusungdo pedo chugil tisong devchen ge kapso te jagardu jupi kadang tenju yongzo ki dendembe kara tele sanga ngajuri nyingme kater danangge chugor samgi michaba ji jungwi tele te kadin jeba jindo tata 신도 닝마 ngado월 줄베 듄나 대 상기게 템바 용조 지당 텔레 마타 지소소 tarbe domba 코르남지 창와 게롱 마이 domba 레구중디 텔레 상하기 템바 용조 대가주로 까테르 당난기 최고를 소바 대 냠바메바 terangnasosi long jeni yumigi kelwa zangbori jurbadi da chogile yapsiki kudin imleten te dangba te chadang chobe yuldu jurbayi dare risu machibi latul gewi shenyen te lesaji juminangle daro tendu pelgun tendu tsugindu jurbaya lesayu tele nang tukju rimni sami chuksa jiru chi bebi suldo jubi te kechen tamba lesha te juyu pasi ta diso ngaragi ngele bawachen te wang shukin bimba ta terna hawang kurwe kapsu te yin shekpa ringa namki wangkurwe gongpa ze tele yum namki wangkur se ani tuzombe te tato latu gewe shenyen di tamche chang ta chokju sangi ki turba chokju sangi ki gesab tabuji chunde te pigi wang chamjor somchi ngagi shudi besa jiru te disogi wang kurwalo te gongba te jingi labu te tamje lo te wangi jinlab jukbi te pangbo tabu be samde te chada chubi yuldo shuksu seo ins tere maase wang shuwapo na zomi ke do pomo kazumji inde besa jiru sangagi kikhurdu shukshin le tamje hadang hamyo rangjin mato te tamelpa chikcha mebi dibole tende dangaragi khatule 공기 추일 공마 대미왕아다 yapse rimeke la tu giwi shenyin dei shorudo tele wangshuapo ladang lami de rangshin 탐제로 대 차저르 예바 탐제라 싱들균기 장니기 류두바이 남균도 초도 대배 차첼로세 대 규샤표인
First and foremost, I pay homage at the feet of the glorious Kalachakara and Guru who are inseparable. Today, on this auspicious day, we gather here following the instructions and guidance of our great Dharma King, His Majesty King Chimi Kesa Namgyal Wangchuk, the crown jewel of Bhutan, the land of medicinal herbs. One essential component of the Global Peace Prayer Festival is the conferring of the Kalachakara empowerment, a transmission that spans countless generations, a teaching that transforms the very fabric of time into the path of awakening. At the outset, let me explain about the greatness of the patron of this most sacred event, the Kalachakara empowerment. The successive kings of the Wangchuk dynasty in general, and particularly the present great Dharma kings, His Majesty the Fourth Tuk Gyalpo, Chikmi Singye Wangchuk, and His Majesty King Chimi Kesar Namgyal Wangchuk are the royal patrons of the Buddha Dharma. Our great Dharma kings are equivalent to the great ancient kings of India, such as King Bimbisara of Magadha and Dharma King Ashoka. Our Dharma kings are also equivalent to the 3 generations of emanated Dharma kings of the snow land of Tibet, Songtsen Gampo, who opened Tibet's heart to the Dharma, Tisong Deochen, who planted its unshakable roots, and Ngada Tirel Bachen, who watered those roots with fervent devotion. Now, if we reflect on the teachings of the secret mantra Vajrayana, our royal patrons are like King Indrabhuti of Odiyana, Dharma King Suchandra of the kingdom of Shambhala in the north, where the enlightened kings preserved the Kalachakara teachings through an unbroken golden lineage. Our Dharma kings are no different from the Dharma King Tisong Deochen of the land of snows. Why are these comparisons drawn? This is because the Guya Samaja Tantra, Pelsawa Diba, the king of all tantras, revealing the secret yoga, was taught by the Buddha in reliance upon King Indrabhuti, who requested these profound instructions and became their royal patron. The Kalachakara Tantra, this very teaching we are about to receive today, was taught upon the request of Dharma King Suchandra of the Shambhala kingdom. During the reign of Dharma King Tisong Deochen in Tibet, all the canonical scriptures of the Buddha and the commentarial treatises of the great Panditas existing in India were brought to Tibet through tremendous effort. The scriptures and the commentaries, what we now revere as Kanjur and Tenjur. Furthermore, King Tisong Deochen graciously supported in propagating the inconceivable cycles of the early translation, the Nyingma school teachings, that comprise of Kama, the canonical oral transmissions, the Terma, the treasure teachings concealed by Guru Padma Sambhava for the future, and Taknang, the teachings received through pure vision by realized masters. Similarly, now in these extremely degenerate times, when the 5 degenerations are intensifying, the fact that we have the good fortune to be blessed and full access to the teachings of the Buddha in general, and the teachings of the secret mantra Vajrayana in particular, is only due to the great benevolence and peerless wisdom of their majesties, the Dharma kings of Bhutan. Therefore, let us all pay homage and offerings to our great Dharma kings as a gesture of our sincere gratitude. Today, many high learned lamas, tukus, accomplished masters, the 4 kinds of Sangha, Bhikshu and Bhikshuni, male and female, Upasakas and Upasakis, are gathered here for the empowerment. In this gathering, most likely there are many noble accomplished beings with their minds enriched by the profound generation and completion stages like the hidden yogis in disguise. To all of you, it is my sincere request to be present, not as disciples receiving the empowerment from me, but rather as masters who direct the enlightened intention towards the empowerment ceremony and confer blessings as representatives of the Buddhas of the 10 directions. To you all, I pay homage and offerings. Furthermore, all receiving the empowerment today now enter the mandala of the secret mantrayana. Therefore, everyone present here today embody the nature of male and female deities. Not one among us is an ordinary being. Hence, to all of you who are worthy of homage, with bodies numbering as many as atoms in all worlds, throughout all realms, with supreme devotion, I offer prostration.
Da kebi yusu tamsheni ki popadang towa yubab tali mede besa jiru kenpa na demba namki shokhalu da masimi tsolo koda kaniya matubachin te diya penmi tobe debo le ten nalema jiktenda debe tam Dachato to Jigda, Tele Chuchole, Lungri dan Delue, Tam Zamboshi, Shumashi de Besachero, Tarangi Semlo, Takangshara Zamshik Shuni, Tayang Sangiki, Mishe Palu, Mishe Se, Kelembachen. 아니 개반이 세송도 다랑기 미시신도 시에세 켈렘바친 다 직딩기 초레 대 보바우지 인시로 최초레 상기기 미시발로 시베 켈림이디 신도 마룽바 델 구고르미 미출라미 준시미 다 직딩 감기 총균 인세 송도 데벨레 땐 최초로 제제 다랑기 마시미지 데미시세미데라 슈니 대양 뒤기 콜레 꼴레 당아라기 자찰레 주데지 야미시 마시지 베서지로 둥기 내가 둠다지 마시바진 다도 왕구르 베야미룽 다니보다 다랑기 통출 잠시 휴화젠 라라니 유기셰바 젤도 뜸비 라라기 왕구르 젤도 뜸비 라라기 라렌 젤도 뜸비 라루기 두호르기 냠린 젤도 뜸비 라루기 다상기께 까임베 차레 딜루 대바당 규바 깨데 라랑기 까밥 가이미기 취디 냠술렌데 달라 땅용수 대주미유비 디베니디기 녜바르도 인지민지 다 듀코르 슈고세니다 야나 듀코르 슈미촉 세비기 로 데 타직도 데 진바맵지고비 다 당보 가치와라 가지고 모세와젠 삼바자 제와 장주생기 균롱당 탑자 제와 상왕하기 균롱 이세도 대 삼바자 제와 장주생기 균롱디 다 팔리체리기 다 켄다 켄심바 임베 대 남에삼베 자르디 슈구민도 된타르돌로 남가다냐 베셈젠 탐지 진진 파마 이 디상기기살로 끄고 디 끄니기 된래 다리벨 두께 콜레 왕슈니 인도이기 대dim바디 카체 델레니바 상왕하기 균롱기 값수 탑자체와세 다 탑자체와로 핀숨 촉방아 델레 네 핀숨 촉바 덴바 핀숨 촉바 코르 핀숨 촉바 취 핀숨 촉바 뒤 핀숨 촉바 디라나소스게 산에 값로 자제의 유 델레 오마 데 답비신 감당 상게 장심솔로 저제의 유 데다도 나 슈니디 다 취념술렘베 년저바 임바젠 핀숨 촉방아세미데 다링살로 마임바 랑기 심니 릭바케 징마다 마델와젠 핀숨 촉방아 보디딜로 참이 당발 나와 린치케바 모셰바젠 아니 오민기 신감이 네 핀숨 촉발로나미 나와 린치케바 시다 나와 남버다바 아니 오민기 신감 네 핀숨 촉바 심니 린치케바 모셰바젠 아니 랑나 dwingi 템바 균도장보 도지창 벨리 뒤규 콜로 아니 딜레 로소 템바 피서 촉바야미 델레 도두게 셈젠 담제 사당함메랑신 사당함메랑신 인고미디야 로와리도 셈징기 류가 유숨다 뒤숨상기 구송두 니스메비 데 도긴 장바자리 게면람나레 감숨게 셈젠 담제 뒤숨상기 구송투스 끼징만일랑 오트바르 줄지 세면람 델레데 답디유 대안이 다동아자라 가라 하단람메랑신로 셰바진 대 코르핀슨 속발로나미 다 된담셈기 도르제 다지 아랑나 댕기 템바 균도장보 도르제 장 벨리 뒤규 콜로 딜레젤 가메도 샤와 탐지 최빈슨 속바이 다 랑리케 짐베 ngor 딜레 마유바 자수바진 딜로 데 마온다타 뒤숨 로스 두바메 뒤숨 뒤메 뒤숨 양바 니세 뭐데 랍임레 다니 데 빈손 속방아세 다 빈손 속방아 임레 덴디기 다 지기지로 델레 집사니 콘토케니 마규바케니 저야미도 라마게베시니 저기 툭줄로 넘버 똑바 간예 메데베사지로 다디게 로마당 진다당 호르초기 야 달라마디 bombi 티민도 야디 게탈릿 텐다도 다딜라마 bom데 마 올리 텐다노 세비게 남도 담미데 중바지 최담 미팅 바이 다도 나세다 바람잠 하당 함메랑신도 도민 잘림이
Amidst this gathering of learned and accomplished beings, I hold neither the eagerness nor the conceit to teach. However, for the sake of those in the audience, amidst the learned ones who have limited background knowledge, I offer a brief explanation of the empowerment for their benefit. Lacking eloquence, both in worldly expression and in textual and reasoning exposition on Dharma, I shall simply share whatever arises in my mind. The Buddha taught that admitting one's ignorance is itself a mark of the learned, while pretending to know what doesn't know might be considered heroic in worldly terms. From a dharmic perspective, the Buddha declared that claiming knowledge one doesn't possess is utterly improper. In fact, it is like committing the heinous crime of lying. So such a person will be like thief of the world. Therefore, prioritizing Dharma, I admit my limitations. I myself know only about 10% of the Kalachakara teachings. However, if one does not even understand the essential key points of the Kalachakara teachings, then it would be improper to confer the empowerment. From what I have observed on the Kalachakara cycle of teachings, some practitioners emphasize explanation of the Tantra, some stress on conferring empowerments, while some focus on practical application. Some give importance to meditative practice, and some simply generate devotion because it is the Buddha's teaching, while emphasizing whatever teachings belong to their own lineage transmission, remaining indifferent to other traditions. Therefore, one should not cling to extreme views such as one must definitely receive the Kalachakara or one must not receive it. Now, in order to cultivate proper motivation as we receive the empowerment, the first motivation to cultivate is what we call the vast intention of the bodhicitta, or the mind of enlightenment. How do we cultivate? For the benefit of all mother sentient beings, equal to space, I am going to engage in this practice, receive the empowerment, and I alone will shoulder the responsibility to bring all mother sentient beings to the state of perfect, complete enlightenment. So this is what we call the vast intent of bodhicitta. The most important motivation that one needs to cultivate here in the Vajrayana context, particularly today, is what we call the 5 perfections, or the Finsum Sokpanga, the perfect place, teacher, retinue, Dharma, and time. In this particular Kalachakara gathering, I would specifically highlight that the essence of the 5 perfections, to cultivate the essence of the 5 perfections in your mind stream, is such that when one remains inseparable from the instantaneous moment of self-awareness, all the 5 perfections are complete within oneself. So please understand the 5 perfections in the following manner. The first perfection is the perfection of place. when one recognizes appearances as the innately present primordial wisdom, this is the pure realm of Hogmin or Akanish, the pure realm. At this point, when one recognizes all appearances as the innate present primordial wisdom within our mind, there is no need to seek a perfect place elsewhere. The second is the perfect teacher. So how do we cultivate this? When one recognizes that the very nature of one's own mind is the innate, present, primordial wisdom, this itself is Vajradhara, Dorjichang or Kalachakara. So there is no need to seek a perfect teacher elsewhere. The third is perfect retinue or Korpinsum Sokpa. How do we cultivate this? When one recognizes that all sentient beings of the 6 realms are by nature male and female deities, there is no need to seek a perfect assembly of retinue elsewhere. This is very much in line with what the great Drukpa master, the founder of the Drukpa tradition, Chuje Tsangpa Jare, who said in his aspiration prayers, may we be able to recognize the enlightened body, speech, mind qualities in all the minds of sentient beings. The third perfection is the perfect Dharma. So how do we cultivate this? Since everything that arises unceasingly as the natural display of the ultimate Vajra mind, this is the Dharma. There is no need to seek perfect teachings elsewhere. Finally, the fifth Pinsum Sokpa or the perfection is the perfection of time. How do one cultivate? In the immediate moment of self-awareness, the 3 times, past, present, and future, are not established as separate realities. When one recognizes this very moment, instant, as equality itself, there is no need to seek a perfect time elsewhere. So this is how we cultivate the 5 perfections in the context of the Vajrayana.